Want to make this introduction quick. MoistCr1TiKal just dropped this video. I literally just dropped the video an hour before he dropped this one. Pretty crazy stuff. It's kind of just a response to all the controversy. I haven't watched it yet, so this is a live reaction with you guys. And let's see what he has to say. Let's see what the response is. Future Respawn here. So the beginning of the video, it's just him talking about like people thought he was leaving the internet. He talked about Sneeko, how he's a weirdo about kids, which is understandable. I don't really like Sneeko. I don't really care for his view. I'm more focused on what he said about transitioning for kids. I'm going to hop straight into that one. If you want to see the full video, obviously you know where to find it at. It's all over the place right now.
Which was my response to his question about kids transitioning. And the way he would pose that question would be by asking if I thought it was okay if kids who want to switch their gender go to the doctor and get their dick cut off. Is it okay if a 9-year-old goes to a doctor and gets their cock cut off right then and there? And when posed with that question, I replied with yes. And I've talked about this on stream many, many times now, and I'll talk about it again here.
I only seen one,
so... He was talking in hyperbole.
I seen one stream of him. I'm pretty sure there would have been more. I don't know, but I only saw that one that I posted on my video.
Many times now, and I'll talk about it again here. I thought he was talking in hyperbole. I thought he was just exaggerating, being over the top, talking about the entire subject of transitioning.
I still don't understand that. He literally asked you, is it okay? And he said yes. Like it wasn't a metaphor, or it wasn't like some over exaggerated. It wasn't over exaggerated. This happens, dude. Like this literally happens a lot actually in America that we face. Why do you think they're banning it all over the world? I hope, like I said, I hope this gets banned, because there is a case going to the Supreme Court about this, and I hope it gets banned. It needs to be a federal ban.
I had no idea that any living, breathing human being actually thought that that's how transitioning works, where you just go into a doctor saying, I feel like switching genders, and they lay you down on the operating table and just snip your whole fucking meat off. I didn't know that that's what he actually believed. I didn't know he was speaking literally. I thought he was just referring to the entire process of transitioning and just using this over-the-top statement to encapsulate all of it. Because you literally cannot get that surgery unless you are 18. Like, you actually have to go out of your way to be that stupid on the topic than you would just spending a couple of seconds looking it up. There are very rare cases where someone under 18 has had that surgery performed.
That's a lie. What statistics do you have, bro? Like, that's not true. It's not rare. It's happening more and more every year. Like, I understand. Okay, the 9-year-old, right? The 9-year-old. That would be considered rare. But like, if you go up to like 15 or 16, it's happening a lot more than what you think. You know, if you want to consider bindings that women wear, that high schoolers wear, that's a form of transitioning. Puberty blockers, that's a form of transitioning. You know, when you block your puberty, that's it. You can't just not take it no more and go through puberty. That's it. And then you don't have kids usually. It's just like he's trying to make that argument like it's rare. No, it's not. It's a common thing that's happening more and more every year in America.
That's not common. So I really didn't think that someone could be so dumb on the topic. I thought he was just speaking in hyperbole, which is my mistake. I should have been more clear instead of making an assumption that he was talking about something nuanced in an over-the-top way. I haven't hid this take, and it's not a new take from me. I've talked about this a couple times throughout the years on stream. I have no complaints if a kid gets interested in transitioning and starts talking to their family about it. So their parents start talking to doctors, the kids start talking to doctors and therapists and all of this, because the process of transitioning is one that takes place over the course of many years. It's not something that just happens.
So that's grooming. Am I wrong? What if an adult did that to a child and the parents allowed it to happen and said, okay, you can groom my kid when they're 16 until they're 18, then it's legal, then he can marry them. You see how that's like a moral dilemma right there? That's insane. That you're literally encouraging your kid to do something what says the other way around. You see what I'm saying? Like, see that moral dilemma right there?
Things like that. And I'm also not afraid to admit that I am not the most educated when it comes to transitioning. I am not someone that has a ton of knowledge about the subject to be speaking on it in a really in-depth manner. But even I know these very surface level things that everyone has easy access to understand. It is a long process, and I have no problems at all if a kid gets interested in that process and starts going through that process with proper care.
That's crazy.
And then when they reach the age where they can consider that surgery and decide they want to do it, then that's all power to them. That's entirely up to them. They have reached that age. They can now do that surgery if they want to.
So they can get groomed into doing it. That's what you're pretty much saying, dude.
That is not a surgery that's being offered to like a 9-year-old who just says, I feel like changing genders today. It's just not how it works. And I didn't think that that's what was actually being discussed because it's so fucking silly. Now,
well, it's so silly. Why didn't you just say, no, I don't think that. That's outrageous. That never happens. Why didn't you just say that then? I know you were thrown off and you weren't expecting to have a debate. But brother, he asked you this question. You just say no.
I'm sure there's some really fringe cases you can point to where that kind of
there
thing
isn't
did
fringe
happen,
cases.
but it's
What?
not.
See, like this is what irritates me about this movement, this transitioning of kids. I'm done listening to this guy. You can listen to his video. So all I want to say is, it's just like with people who agree with this and they're on the side of doing it, they always say stuff like, "Oh, this is a fringe topic that never happens. This never happens. Kids never transition. That's rare." Why do you think they just passed a law in California that they don't have to let the parents know that their kids want to transition? If it was so uncommon and so rare, why did the state of California pass a law to protect trans kids from school so the teachers don't have to tell the parents? Huh? If it was such an uncommon occurrence, how come people have these horror stories of their kids going through this crap, being indoctrinated, and being told you could be this person from people like you? It just irritates me so much that he thinks he's so morally right, and you're bankrupt, dude. You're morally bankrupt. I had respect for you. You can't sit here and call out pedophiles, but then sit here and be like, oh, well, if they want to transition when they're 18 and they want to do it when they're 14, the parents should help them step up to that. You see, if you changed it to a kid wants to be with an adult and the parents are helping them build up to that, that's the same thing. It's grooming. That's grooming. That's literally the definition of grooming. Grooming is something you feed the kid thoughts, ideas, education. The schools do it. Government does it. It's grooming. You're literally saying you're okay with grooming. That's insane, dude. I don't know, man. It's just crazy to me that he thinks that. I mean, it's not a shocker, but I thought he would come out with a better response. Of course, typical YouTuber coming out, just bringing up stuff that isn't irrelevant to what we're talking about. People know what the debate was about. If people know about it, they already knew what Sneeko was going to say. You spent a good chunk of the video again talking about Sneeko. He's just trying to make himself look better and morally superior. And the only way out of this is just say, well, when they're 18, they can do that, but when they're a kid, they can transition and be taught and educated more. That's grooming. Anyway, I just wanted to respond to this video and give my thoughts about it. This dude's insane, guys. I lost respect for this guy. You literally can't just do this for a living and then flip-flop around and for your audience, because clearly he was scared of the trans community because he was saying about the trans community. So anyway, you have to just take what he says with a grain of salt. It's just ridiculous, guys. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys in the next one.